for joining us for another edition of the First Daily Sports Podcast. My name is Ben Ubana and I'm here with Taiwo Ibrahim. Today we are going to be talking about the things happening at the World Cup currently, a general overview of the entire 48-team World Cup and what to expect, when the World Cup is reviewed. Join us as we discuss today. Thank you. Hello, Taiwo. Today we want to talk about the World Cup. The World Cup started on the 11th of June, and we are expecting that it will end on the 19th of July. What has been the most interesting part of the World Cup for you?
Well, now is when I'm just talking about, I just realized that we're almost clocking over a month already. I was enjoying best of football.
Yeah.
Well, as a football lover, you want to see that World Cup, the 48-team World Cup, interesting from the angle of the African teams. Because I like it from the fact that we can now have 10 African teams
playing
at the World Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something we've not had before. We used to have 5, we used to have 3.
Yeah.
From 3 we move up to 5.
5, yeah.
5 we move up to 10. Unfortunately, the African giant of Africa, they can't find their way there. But for us Nigerians, we are enjoying football. But overall, if you look at the quality of football, maybe like I used to tell people that tournaments are not perfect.
Yeah.
2022 tournaments, we enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was interesting. But there were still issues.
Yes.
1 or 2 teething matters that you could say this tournament didn't. But it's looking like this tournament in terms of controversy is even bigger than the 2022 tournament.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of controversy in this tournament.
Yeah.
And sometimes it looks like football thrives in controversy.
Right.
Because this has been much more interesting than 2022.
Yes.
Because 2022, there were really no talking points, much.
So I feel that controversies, I think it's the media world, right? The media
They need the controversy to sell the tournament.
Exactly, right?
So now, without controversy, okay, let's compare it to Qatar. In Qatar, they had human rights issues.
Yes, that's before the World Cup.
Yes.
Mostly before the World Cup.
But when tournament started, everybody forgot about it.
Yes.
Even the English media, they were the one
pushing it.
They were pushing it before the tournament started. But once it started, they got into the groove of the tournament.
Yeah, and that was the end of it.
But look at this tournament now. 48 teams, the biggest World Cup in history. A lot of people were expecting what the USA would do, Mexico and Canada. And the Mexicans and Canada, they did their job well.
They did.
And now it's the turn of the USA, they are doing it well. In terms of organization, it's going on smoothly. There's no issue.
Yeah.
In Qatar, people complain about transportation, organizational lapses in Qatar, but in the US, you've not heard something like that.
Well, I think some persons complained about the cost of transportation.
Of course, cost is a US thing.
I mean,
it's normal.
Some persons were buying train tickets
even
for
the
over
tickets,
100%.
Even the tickets for the tournament is more expensive than Qatar. Because when you're hosting tournament in the country like US, you know that you are not doing it for leisure, you're doing it for business.
Yeah, it's for business.
And for FIFA, it's first business.
It's first business.
That's why they increased to 48. And that's why we're going into the competition of 64. So they don't care about anybody's, and they know that I'm not saying they purposely pushing the controversy or making the controversy happen. But whether I like it or not, football is like, I mean, you can't take, it's like you're in the politics, you can't take controversy away from politics.
No, you can't.
They go pari passu.
Yeah, because truly, in politics, some persons are seeking a position. In football too, you're seeking a position. It's natural. If people want to win, there has to be controversies.
And some of them, controversies boost their chances.
Exactly. Because the more you push, for the media to see that you have a complaint, then everybody would look towards you and say, okay, how can we pacify you? Because that's how it works. Even the players, they do that on the pitch. So the fans also can do that. The federations, the different federations of the countries, everybody
their own angle and
exactly and work
But for
with
the football, I have to say that I've been impressed with the style of play.
Interesting.
With the quality football that we've seen on offer. We've been some games that didn't really live up to expectations, but most of the games, I mean, time difference, many of us have had to stay up and watch the game. But it was worth it.
It was worth it.
This is a summer. Usually, when we have tournaments in the summer like this, it's always interesting for football fans because you know that club football will be on the backside. And then the World Cup, after the World Cup, we move on to WAFCON. It's a loaded summer. So for football fans, you have a lot of football to watch this
lot of football.
And then for the World Cup, so far, so up to this stage, I have to say that you have to give it maybe really now the controversy, if I'm to rate the World Cup, maybe I say 85% out of 100.
85%. And 85% is a very good score.
Pass mark.
So we should give FIFA 85%. We should give the host countries 85% also.
Let's go to the goal.
And we should give the
90%.
players, we should give the players 70%.
No, of course, the players are the actors. If,
Yes.
if they're not there, we're not talking about any World Cup.
Yes,
The players have done well. I mean, before the World Cup started, I had concern about their fitness.
Okay.
Because many of them have played a lot of
games during the
and
season.
FIFA came out to say that the World Cup, the players will be tired and they will not give their best. But whether we like that, you've seen Messi score 8 goals. You've seen all the players, they are doing well. In fact, they are not showing as if they are fatigued. Only the ones that have had injury issues before the season started. I mean, before the World Cup started. But now, we don't really have too much of injuries. Unfortunately, some players got injured. I mean, like this guy that got this Cone, Canada's Cone, he sustained a knee injury. About 2 or 3 of them had serious injuries. But talking about injuries that came as a result of fatigue, we've not seen many of them at the World Cup. Hamstring injuries, we've not had many of them at the World Cup compared to what we even had while the league seasons were on. So you have to say overall, the players have done their bit. Organizers, maybe officiating has always been the part whereby you cannot give them officiating for me in this tournament has to be 30% out of 100.
Why would you
because
say
most
30?
of the games you've seen had 1 or 2 officiating issues. And also like that in 2022. We are expecting that now there's technology.
Yes, the introduction of VAR. I wanted to ask, because if you're introducing technology into the game, we expect that things will be better.
Less mistakes.
Things will be less mistakes. Even if there is a mistake, in fact, it's not just VAR because the ball also has a chip, right? So you're bringing all of this technology in to ensure that there is fairness. But we are still having a whole lot of countries, complaining that the refereeing was not fair. What would you say about this? How many countries have been cheated in quotes?
So the truth of the matter is that some countries may be aggrieved because they feel like they were cheated. And if you really want to look at it, if you pick all these games one by one, you can say that there are games where the referee could have done better. Despite having the VAR with them. But like I used to say, I really don't like talking about officiating in football because I know that, number one, I'm not saying that they cannot be influenced. But I'm saying that if they are not influenced, they can make mistakes.
Naturally. Because they are human.
Because they are human.
Yes.
So, but how do you explain where they are making mistakes? It's looking like they're not making mistakes every game. Every round had the game that was controversial. Especially in terms of officiating. So when you look at it from that angle, you're wondering what's happening? What is FIFA doing? Because if we complain in the group stage about officiating, we complain in the round of 32, 16, round of 16, quarterfinals, semi-finals, we don't know yet. But we've been complaining. And some have been genuine. Some, maybe you say, some people are trying to color Lionel Messi's legacy because they say they are rigging the World Cup for him. But we all know that Argentina have been at the receiving end. They've been a beneficiary of poor officiating. In most of this tournament, at the same time, they've also been at the receiving end of poor officiating that have gone against them. So if you look at all these teams, even France played against Paraguay. They were the better side. Paraguay played dirty football.
Very dirty,
They didn't get 1 single yellow card. And France got 3 yellow cards. For the player that wanted to butcher their opponents, they didn't get a yellow card. So you look at it, France could have complained and said this and that, this and that. But they focus on their football and play their football and they won. So, but FIFA has to do something.
So, FIFA doing something, is it to educate the referees or is it to bring in more technology or is because I don't want to believe, I understand that the parties that are complaining, they've been saying things like FIFA has all of these games scripted. FIFA has it doesn't make sense to me. So FIFA can only do bring everybody together into a place. How do they come in?
The only way they can come in. First, let me first address this. They are scripting the game. You see, the reason this is coming is Ronaldo fans. I mean, we've coined the name.
No. I think we shouldn't just think that
if you look at the
Argentina.
people that are talking against Argentina,
no, not just Argentina. The scripting,
because the scripting is about Argentina mainly.
Not always.
If you go on X, that's the scripting they're talking about is mainly. It may happen for other things, but they are mainly talking about if Argentina crash out today, you know, hear about scripting again.
Okay, so for
because
other games,
okay, let me tell you how it started. It started from the group stage. They started playing in African teams. That why they play in African. Did they mention that about any other teams?
Okay, so the last game between England and Norway. I think at the end of the game, England won definitely, and the media asked Haaland what he thought about the game, and you could hear from what he was saying that there was an issue with the officiating, that their team could have done better or probably could have won the game if that officiating moment was done right. You know, there was a goal that was cancelled, you know, by the referee. So if you go back to the X, you would see how people were actually saying that, you know, they want England to be, you know, in the semi-final. So they actually played. So you hear people say things like, FIFA did this, FIFA did that, FIFA. So it's actually not only about Argentina.
Yes, but
so there's a whole lot of people always bringing in that FIFA is, that sentiment of FIFA is scripting this, FIFA wants, you know, a specific set of nations to be, you know, but I mean, I've been in this business for a while, and I don't think FIFA does this. At what point?
People will always come up with something like
so is the problem is officiating. How can FIFA respond to this?
The only way they can do is to talk to the referees, because it's not a question of competence. You can't, if you're not competent, you can't come and officiate at the World Cup.
Yes.
The stage it takes you to get to a FIFA batch referee.
Yes.
It's not a small
takes a whole lot.
It takes a whole lot. So if you're not good enough, we all know that Nigerian referees are not there because it's a question of competence for them. So you cannot get to that stage and we say we are questioning your competence.
Yeah.
We know that you can do it. And then we now have technology, which is supposed to make your job easier. So what is going on? In some games, you see that they're supposed to call on VAR. VAR will not even call their attention. They overlook it. And in some games, they check it.
Yeah.
They check it even twice.
So that inconsistency
in officiating has to be with the officials.
Even within a game. Something happens to a particular team. They make a call, yes, and then they overlook it in the other.
So what FIFA should do is that we're going to the semi-final, the business stage of the tournament.
Yeah.
Talk to the head of the officials. Colina is the head of the officials. If you can have a roundtable meeting with them. This tournament is really the one bad name the tournament is having is officiating. Every other thing seems to have been going on well, but officiating has been that dark spot. So talk to them. We have just 5 games to go in this tournament. So ensure that you guys do your job well. If you do your job and make use of technology,
it's actually 4 games.
4 games with the third place.
2 semi-final, 1 third place, and final. Yeah.
So if you do your job well, the referee don't have to be the man of the match in the game. The referee doesn't have to be the most talked about person after the game.
Yes.
So FIFA should just let the referee know what they need to do and reduce the controversy on this tournament. But the fact that fans are saying it's scripted, nothing is scripted.
It can be scripted.
Football did not start today.
It didn't start.
For years, people have always been saying Nigerians always complain to even when they don't play well, they say referee referee
against them. Yes.
But it can happen because
football
is a highly charged game.
Yes, it's a charged because there's a lot of emotions. Let's look at one of the games that, you know, caused a lot of talk, you know, on social media. That was Egypt versus Argentina. Egypt started so well. I mean, we were all seeing the game. Egypt opened scoring and, you know, they still scored again. They were leading 2-0. I mean, up to, say, 79 minutes.
Yes.
And somehow the Argentine national team came back, you know, and won that game 3-2. There was a lot of emotion, right, on social media. Even among the team, the players, Egypt, they felt betrayed by the referee. You know, I would like to mention one of the comments that was made by former Chelsea coach, Jose Mourinho. He said it was quite irresponsible of the Egyptian coach to come out to say, you know, that FIFA has scripted all of this. You know, he called it. He called it. In fact, he said, as a coach, the first question you should be asking is how your players who were leading 2-0 in a game,
last 10 minutes
you should ask what is wrong with us, what happened, you know, something changed just 11 minutes to the end of the game. What happened? That's the first question you should be asking, instead of coming out to say things like FIFA wants Argentina to win. Looking at a coach of that magnitude, even players in that level, you know, bringing that kind of sentiment about FIFA scripting, this has gone beyond the fans.
Of course.
Because the coaches, they're in the game. They understand these things. For a coach to come out to say that FIFA is interested in ensuring that Argentina gets to final, then I think whoever is pushing this narrative must have gotten into the.
You see why I blame FIFA for this? It started when they reinstated Balogun. See, if your followers are having issues trusting you, you don't give them more reasons to doubt you, to doubt your integrity.
Right.
What they did was simple, was making the people know that if FIFA can be influenced, because it was pure influence from the White House.
Yeah.
It has never happened in the history of football. If you can do that, people will think you are scripting everything.
Yeah, scripting everything.
Because if that was the most unthinkable thing to have ever been done in the middle of a tournament, and you now say you now suspend it to where for what? So the players will feel like if you can do that, you can do other things that are more easier.
Yeah.
Because more easier for you to script things than to cancel a red card after the game. Okay. So for the players, the Egyptian game, they have themselves to blame 100%. You don't play against Argentina and up to 79 minutes and you sleep.
You sleep, yeah.
Look at the first goal they conceded. A free header by Romero. I mean, are you going to blame the referee for that? Are you going to blame FIFA for that one? So if you have done your job, stay until the end, be compact as you're supposed to be, then you make your way to the next round. And it has been an African problem.
Yeah, because
so they didn't look at it from that end.
Yeah, it happened to Senegal. It happened to Ivory Coast, DR Congo, even Ghana against them. It kept happening.
So they didn't talk about that one. They're talking about the one
I feel looking into that game, right? I saw how the Egyptian side, they never thought they could be leading Argentina. So I think there was an issue of complex. You know, the way they celebrated the goals. In fact, there was one player, very key player, who started limping after the celebration. They celebrated too much. They took their eyes.
You know, nobody gave them. See, celebration.
Exactly.
You could understand it.
Yes, I understand it.
Because nobody gave them a chance to even score 2-0. To win in a 2-0 lead against Argentina was a big ask.
Yeah, but I think they over-celebrated. Because that guy limping, he injured himself and he had to be substituted. I was seeing the game and I saw that space. In fact, the third goal came from his position. Because he was not there. Right? So a lot happened. If you know,
as a coach, you're not blaming those ones.
You're not blaming what happened in the game. You're blaming FIFA for what happened. So I don't get it. What are the other fallouts that have occurred or happened during this tournament?
Well, for me, I feel the only dark spot for this tournament is the officiating. Every other factor have worked well. The coaches, the players have done their job. Organization has not been chaotic like we first saw at Qatar in terms of movement within the city and the like. So it's been security. Surprisingly, has been good because after the war, I was thinking maybe there will be even the Iran came in, there was no issue. The US didn't allow them to stay on their soil, but at least they came for their game and went. But there was no issue at all. So at least
about fallout from the World Cup. We recently read about the Colombian player who missed a clear goal, and he's in the hiding right now. What's going on? What's going on in Colombia?
Well, it's sad. I think it's high time we began educating our fans. Well, in Colombia, I'm not surprised because they have that history. That was where the Escobar issue happened.
Yes.
And then they are very, I don't want to just give them a bad, but in some part of Colombia, they are so passionate about football that it can be violent, it can be deadly. So he missed a clear-cut chance in the last 6 minutes of extra time against Switzerland, and they crashed out.
Yeah.
So he has been receiving
Death
death
threats.
threats on social media, and now he say he can't go back home. And when you look at it, number one, Colombia will not win the World Cup.
Why would you say
This
that?
this is not one of their strongest teams that they've had. So there are no chances that even if they had a stronger team, they will not even win the World Cup. I'm saying that fans should understand that football first.
Right.
To you, it can be an hobby. To them, it's a job.
It's a job.
Yeah, and nobody wants to go to a job, wants to go to work and not do well.
Right.
Because that's what pays your bill. So if you go there, you want to do well, you want to play well. So the guy will not willingly miss the chance. And if you know that it is sport, you win some, you lose some. So it's part of the rules of the game. Fair play has to be what we preach, what you understand as a fan.
Yeah.
We're not just shouting go, 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 go. We are saying you understand the spirit of in the spirit of the game, you let it go. Not that somebody misses a chance, he can't go home. A country he represented with all his heart at the tournament.
Yes.
Now everybody are going back home. He
cannot go home
because he missed a chance. He's not the only player that missed a chance for Colombia at the World Cup. They were the most wasteful side at the tournament. Against Portugal, they had about 10 chances. They couldn't convert. And this guy, everybody can miss a chance. Even Diaz and their keepers, they miss chances. So why are you making life difficult for him? Should he be seeking asylum away from his country because he played for the World Cup?
He played for your country. He represented your country.
So you can't go back to that same country. So I feel fans.
But you see, talking about death threats, that has happened before in Nigeria. I think the last World Cup, the Super Eagles went. Igalo also missed one chance that I think it was against Argentina, and he got death threats. In fact, his family members, his sister, and so I think that was what forced him to retire from the national team at the time. So death threats is not new.
It's not new in Nigeria if you get it. If you get death threats in Colombia and you go, you're on your own.
Oh,
because
death threats must
yes, it can happen. That's how it starts from.
Okay.
If in Nigeria, if somebody dead, you know that it's because it's the flow of the moment, out of the emotion of the moment. It's the spur of the moment. So even if they see you, the people that are threatening you on social media, when they see you, they will tell them to even come and greet you. Okay. They've forgotten that they are criticizing you. But there,
it's for real.
I think in February, a footballer was shot in the same Colombia. So when you know that something like that, the player will not even be scared if he knew that
nothing would happen.
Will not do it. But they can carry it out and nothing will happen. That's I understand the player's decision not to go. Safety first. No matter what you do, safety first.
You have
in
to
Nigeria,
be alive.
you can make all the maths, but it will be very difficult for you to. If they see this particular player, they can be scrambling to come out to get a picture with him.
Yes.
So for the player, I feel he should just stay where he is.
And protect himself.
Or go back to his club.
Okay, so we have 44 teams already out of the World Cup right now, and just 4 teams are left. In my opinion, these are the 4 best teams in the tournament, of course.
And for
them to have gotten to the semi-finals, it means there's something that they own. Yeah, and they're the best 4 teams in the world. So here we are, and I think that each and every single one of them can actually win the World Cup.
Yes.
Right now, we don't know who will win the World Cup, but we know who can. All of them.
Of course.
Every single one of them can win. There are no underdogs now. Every single one of them can win. So the men are here now. So we have, like you said earlier, 4 games left until the end of this tournament. It means we have played 100 games or 102 games. No, 100 games. Yeah, have been played. So, do you think that Argentina will be able to win a back-to-back World Cup?
It's difficult, but they can do it. Especially when you have this Argentina team. If you look at it compared to the previous 2022 team, it's different.
Yeah,
core of the players are still there, but there's something different. I think
people like Di Maria.
The on guy is not there like 2022. Then they wanted to win it for Messi.
Who do they want to win it for?
Now they still want to win it for Messi, but then he had never won it.
Yes, he had never won it.
So now
they already have the taste of being
so
the
this
champion.
Now the history they are taking is let's see if we can win it second time, which is not as bigger which is
as
not
the
as
very
tough one
first.
as
Yeah.
the first one.
Yeah.
Then you could see it in their first week. You could see the way the players were working hard. They took things out. But this time, even the team as well, they've not shown that quality as a team. Most of the games they won are due to individual quality. Man, Messi always come out to build them.
Yeah.
Martinez, Alvarez, have been doing the job. Fernandez did the job. Against Egypt, the winning
Yeah.
goal. So they've been coming up now. But now, you can't rule out Messi when it comes to this kind of tournament. You can get to that semi-final game and he carry the game on his head and does stuff.
Yeah.
But when you look at the team as a whole, England, Argentina, you look at them, England have a better team. They've got players that have been able to get into the spirit of the tournament because they didn't start well. Look at what Bellingham is doing. He scored for 2 key goals for them in their last 3 games. In their last 2 games, scored 3 goals in knockout games.
Well, comparing England with Egypt, with Argentina, I like the angle you're going. You're saying that the England team, they have been better. That's what you say. But you see, Scolani has never, like through this tournament, said anything, bad about the performance of his team. In fact, the day they won against Egypt, Scolani was literally crying and saying, I can't believe the beauty of this particular team. It's just incredible. Do you understand? But that's not the same thing as the England team. We head to Kel talking about the performance of the team just immediately after they won Norway. So despite the win against Norway, Tuchel was not pleased with the performance of the team. So if you think that the English team are stronger, are better, the coaches don't think the same.
Well, yeah, of course, for Tuchel, I understand what was driving at. If you look at the English team, when I say they are better, I'm not saying they are better in terms of performance as a team.
Okay.
They are better in terms of individual quality players coming to the party. Look at what Bellingham has done.
Okay.
Kane, the same thing. There is Gordon on the right flank. These are players that can spread the goals. Look at Argentina. Only Messi has scored goals. But look at what the English team are doing. Kane has scored. Bellingham has been their key player in the knockout round. Gordon has been coming up with assists. I can't talk about the Arsenal guys. The 2 of them are not up to 1. Madueke and Saka, they are not serious at the World Cup. But look at the other players. There's the base of their midfield. They've got Rice and Anderson. Rice has been struggling with fitness. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying they are better. Not that, in terms of performance, it's been terrible to watch.
Right.
From the group stage, they don't score enough goals. But when they see what Tuchel has done, I think I have to go back to where he picked his team. When he picked that team, he picked mentality monsters. Tuchel is a coach that thrives on drilling that mentality into his players. He may not even play well, but he lets you know that it's you against the world. So we don't listen to whatever others are saying. We want to get the job done. However we get it done, it doesn't matter. But let's get the job done. Look how they've been winning their games. The last game against Norway, in the second half, Norway were the better side. But they came up with individual quality and they won. The games in the round of 32, the same thing. So Tuchel has brought in players that they know the job. The job is you don't have to even show the skill, show the whole world. You don't forget it's
just
a German.
Get the win. Yeah.
Just get a win.
Just get
and
the
that's
win.
what the players have been doing. So what he's doing to them is that I'm not impressed with your performance. I want you to do more. And it's working.
Well,
he's been complaining since group stage.
Okay, so but I think this one was louder. This one was quite louder to the point that Bellingham had to respond.
Even Madueke responded
to defend the players.
You know what they are doing?
I hope it's not going to affect.
In fact,
the team.
I saw a report in the English media today that it's not. They are purposely doing that.
Is it to scare their?
Just to make you feel like there's crisis inside the camp. There's no crisis.
There's no crisis.
And because I saw a report that said that if you cannot come up to say something like that in that kind of dressing room, that means you are not supposed to be there.
Oh.
That's what I saw in the English media this morning. So I know that this is Tuchel's style. And Bellingham is a player that got big ego. And he thought he had to just defend the player's performance. Because he had to say that Tuchel has not faced the likes of Alan, Solot, and Odegaard and the likes. Maybe I feel that was over the top a little bit. But we're talking about two egocentric people. But for Tuchel, what he's saying is that You guys have to do better. And that's how you will psyche them up till they get to the final, probably win the tournament. They know they are playing well.
Do you see England winning this
It's
tournament?
possible because they're already in the last four.
Right.
But I feel like if I'm to predict, I'm going to go with Argentina. But with that mentality, he has been able to drill into those players. I think I'll go with England because it may not boil down to how well you play in that semi-final.
Just
so
get the
only
win.
A KG game and get your chance and win. They may not play well at all and just win. So because they've been doing it and it's been working for them. Against Argentina, they'll be focused will be on Messi and they know that this is the biggest game of the tournament they've played.
Yes.
So they have to ensure that they do. So for what Tuchel is doing, I agree with it. Even if they are playing well, they're not playing well, so they can improve the game. It's a tactic.
A tactic, right. Okay. So if we are seeing the end of Argentina in this semi-final, what happens in the final? Who and who do you think are going to the final? Just tell me.
I would have loved to see France, Argentina again in the final.
Right.
Because
if that happens, what would happen?
Well, maybe just for the purpose of being fair, maybe I will give it to France because of the outbreak they suffered at the last World Cup. And they will also be willing to come back and ensure that they have a pound of flesh against Argentina. But it will now boil down to the better side winning because it will be difficult for it to win. But in terms of favorite, France are the favorite because they've got a better team in this tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got a star-studded team. Not only star-studded that are delivering the goodies.
Yeah.
You can be star-studded and not bring anything to the table.
They've not lost any game at all.
They've not lost any game. Yeah. They've scored the most goals, 16 goals. So, and their players are playing well, the attackers. The midfield.
And you could see the hunger. You could see the hunger from everybody. They wanted to win.
They won in 2018. It's not enough. They got to the final in 2022. Now they're in the semi-finals again. So they've been getting the job done.
Yeah, but you see,
I think I have to.
One of the predictions that I love to quote is that of Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger was asked just before the start of the World Cup, and he also reiterated that same opinion during the World Cup that France are the favorites to win the World Cup. And he said that it's not because he is from France. He just believes that France has the team that can win this World Cup. When he was asked again who are the other teams that can be favorites, he said the only team he thinks can stop France is Spain. He said it. And somehow we have France and Spain playing in the other semi-final. What do you see from that game?
Well, for me, I like to be very realistic. This Spanish team, they've not been... You see, I think what I have learned among those four teams is that only France have played exceptional football.
Okay.
And they've also known when to play dirty and win. So that's what they've done. Spain too, they've not really played, but they've been efficient. Because when you play tournament football, efficiency is all you need.
Especially when you're not conceding.
Especially when you're not conceding. So they consider just one goal.
Just one goal, and that's from Belgium.
From Belgium. Yeah. So at the quarterfinals.
At the quarterfinals.
So you look at it, and you look at that team on paper, you think maybe they are lightweight defensively. Because you have Laporte, you have Kubasi, Barcelona youngster, and then there's Rodri that is getting the job done in the midfield, at the base of the midfield. And then the flanks. Even their most best player has not really been in this tournament. Yamal has not really been, but he's been getting the dribbling stats. But the final product has not been there.
Well,
just one goal.
Yeah, just one goal.
They are finding a way to get the job done. They are not considered. They are currently on over 30 matches unbeaten. So these things are not fluke. And they can, the way football works, they can play France, the favorite team, and then they shock them.
They could.
It's possible because Spain too, they are the European champions. They are not the
European champions. They are not small.
I mean, things can
in fact, they are
change.
one of the top favorites for this particular tournament.
Things can change.
So we are expecting.
But based on form, based on quality, based on team, what they've done in the tournament so far, I think I'm going with France.
You're going with France.
But I have an outside chance for Spain. They spring up a surprise.
Okay, so we should expect a France and an Argentina in the final, or a Spain and an England in the final.
For England because they never won it.
Oh, you want England to be in the final? They would relish, they would cherish the opportunity of winning it. I mean, since 1966, that's like 60 years.
So I believe among all those other teams that are there, they are the ones that have not won it in recent times.
Okay.
So I feel. And then because of how much
it mean empathetic?
I want it to mean to them.
But certain fans would not like to hear this because we would not hear the last of it for the next 1 year.
And if they don't win it, I think Tuchel will just have to go back to Germany. because what they mean for him,
what it brought him in was to
That's
win
why.
the World Cup.
Win the World Cup.
So if you can't win the
cannot
World
win it
Cup,
with all the. But I believe for him, even if they don't win this tournament, Tuchel has done a
he has
great
done.
job.
Yes, he has done a great job. Getting to
And
the semi-final.
just give him more time to build a team for the next World Cup. Get to the semi-final. I mean, with the level, with the players that they
I
have.
think they will give him another opportunity, maybe for the Euro. The Euro
Yes,
that's happening the
he
next
signed
2
a
years.
4-year contract before the start of the tournament.
Oh, awesome!
So
he can
there should
actually
be no
go on
issue.
with. There
But I
shouldn't be an
believe
issue.
they are one of the strongest favorites to win the World Cup. If they are able to beat Argentina,
Right, they will go on
I think
to
they
win the
can
World
win the
Cup.
World Cup if they are able to beat Argentina.
Well, just like we said, the 4 best teams are right now in the competition, and we expect any one of them to win. This is all we're going to take today. Thank you so much for joining us. We would have another conversation when the World Cup is won. Thank you.